Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Monday Sesh with Sesh, episode number 7, and today joined with the awesome Steph. So Steph, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
This week is stand-up week, and so I won't be doing the usual kind of intro. You will be able to hear all about that tomorrow, so we'll go kind of straight into the interview. Steph, you are very much a SF VIP. You're an SF VIP for a number of reasons. Two being, I guess, as head of customer services, I think we have almost 200,000 customers now. If they have an issue, then it's someone in your team, or a question, it's someone in your team who looks after it, which is obviously, care very passionate about SF users, and, you play a huge role in that. But also, I guess, a lot of the SF team report into you as well in the UK, the US, South Africa and India as well. And so you have an enormous impact on the company. Thankfully, you are awesome and have been doing an awesome job in both of those areas. And so excited to kind of get to know you kind of better through this process as well. But welcome. We always like to kind of start at the beginning. And so if you tell us just a little bit about kind of where you grew up, how life was like as a child.
Yeah. So I kind of grew up in the northeast, obviously quite a small town. So I grew up in a town called Newton Aycliffe, went to school in somewhere called Bishop Auckland, then college was in Darlington, and then that's where I've just kind of stayed since. Growing up, it's not really a surprise I ended up in a team environment. I've got 5 brothers, both older and younger, so I always had like a little pack around me. Mum and Dad both worked full time, so spent a lot of time with grandparents. So they were kind of like the inspiring factor of growing up.
Fantastic. My wife is from Middlesbrough, and so whenever you talk, it kind of she has a Middlesbrough, a northeast twang as well, and so it sounds very very familiar. So so you grow up 5 brothers and yourself, so 6 kind of 6 siblings.
Yeah.
And then you said, you spent a lot of time with your kind of grandparents. Kind of, how was that? And I guess I have 2 children, and they don't like spending that much time with their grandparents. To be fair, mainly because they're quite annoying. But sometimes I like, no, it is, it's quite wholesome to do that. But yeah, we'd love to hear how your experience was.
Yeah, for me it was great because by the time I was old enough to remember things, my granddad had already retired, and my nana was working at Boots. So growing up a little girl, Boots is fantastic. She's got all the makeup, she's got the CDs. She would borrow them from work and burn them, so we had them. And my granddad, it was very much he loved gardening, so it was all of his greenhouse, and that's where we'd spend a lot of the time. But it was nice that they had the little traditions of every Saturday was cheese and crackers and NCIS night, and that's the stuff that you kind of remember as you're getting older of the little traditions and quirks that they had in bringing us up.
Yeah, super. And education and kind of schooling, how was that? What did you do?
Yeah, so obviously I went to college, studied a few different things across English and media and religion, etc. Was going to go to university and then decided to help out with my brothers, my younger ones. So chose that over university and ended up doing an apprenticeship instead. So we've got a few of the A levels and stuff in your generic kind of educational paths, and then the NVQ in contact centre operations. So worked out well in the end.
Oh, fantastic. And so and that was I guess a very kind of selfless kind of choice. And you as you've kind of progressed, is that something you kind of missed, or got you kind of quite comfortable with?
I think it was for the best, because then I got the best of both worlds of all of my friends. None of them went to the same universities, so I got to experience going and visiting them, being the friend that actually had money because we had a job while they were living off beans and toast. So it was nice to tour the UK and visit everyone at university and experience it, but then also still be able to earn that income as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess there is I think a big focus in general in just more vocational training as opposed to kind of general, kind of just learning general things, which I think makes a lot of sense there. So I don't think I learnt a single thing academically that I've gone on to use, and so it is strange. And then so you said kind of contact center was I guess your kind of vocational, which I guess has been useful as you progress, and so before salary finance? What were the different types of kind of roles that you had?
So an entire career was basically with EE, Orange, BT, that kind of path. So started off with Orange, that moved into EE, then that moved with BT, and then dabbled in PlusNet when that merged as well. So moved from like contact firm customer service, then collections, then kind of in the executive office doing complaints. And then just before I left, I was working with the HR team at BT on Allyship Ambassador.
Yeah.
So kind of links into what we're doing now with the DEI and socials art and the ERG group. So
yeah, and where was BT based? Where were you based?
so it was in Darlington.
In Darlington, okay,
yeah.
Good. And so that's where you kind of grew up, and you're still there at the moment as well. Yeah, okay, excellent. Yeah. And BT, good salary finance client. Does it ever make you think about when you have BT contact customers about when you're on the other side?
Yeah, but it's good to have seen it. So like being an employee, being a customer of salary finance while working for BT, I think it really helps in the view now of like I've been that person on the phone, so I understand the journey.
Yeah. Oh, so you use salary finance when you're at BT? Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so how long were you at BT for?
I think I just clocked 10 years when I moved here. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And then how did the salary finance transition happen?
Honestly, I wanted to jump into something where there was a quicker growth plans and like I got to step away from, because that's where I grew up in BT, right? So stepping out of my comfort zone and push myself. And then River was already working here. And obviously I knew it from being a customer, so I thought, why not dive into something that's not entirely unknown? Because if BT trust them, they must be half decent.
Yeah. And what was your first role at salary finance?
It was team leader. So I joined, didn't have a team yet, jumped straight into recruitment and finding my first little team. Yeah,
fantastic. And so that was 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now?
Just about 2.5, yeah.
Yeah. And then what's your progression been in the past 2.5 years?
So it was customer service team leader, and then it was outsource manager. So it was just looking after our BCI team, and then it's moved into head of customer service that I'm in now.
Yeah, fantastic. And so, in terms of your current roles, so you guys have a UK team, India team, and now a South Africa team as well. Very international and diverse, and I guess what's it like to manage a team in 3 different countries? What do you enjoy? What are the challenges? And also you've obviously been or spent time with India and South Africa. I'd love to hear about those experiences as well.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely love having such a big diverse team. I think it's the best way of like everyone gets to learn from each other, right? And you get so many grasps of personalities. You've met a couple of people from some of the teams, so you know there's personality there. But I think it just shows the strength of a team of where we can all be in different countries and like still manage to create real relationships between them. So it's like that touch of point of like they speak to each other every day, I speak to them every day. And there really is that unity feeling within CS. I think that's one thing that I'm proudest of them. Like we have such culture, but CS itself has a culture. And everyone hopefully feels super involved and part of the team. But it's been amazing going to visit the teams. Obviously Mumbai, I'd worked with them for like almost a year and a half by the time I met them. So it was fantastic to meet everyone, have in real life hugs. And I just learned so much from them. It's like an entirely different way of living to how we typically live. And the same in South Africa. So I really enjoy the shift in culture. You get a reality check sometimes as well, and just understanding. And I think if we want our teams to care about our customers, we've got to show that same level of care to them, right? So I think it's just great of getting to know them on a personal level, and they love doing that too.
Yeah, very good. And so how many people do you have across the three teams, 3
now
locations?
You're asking. Like between 30 and 40 at the minute.
Yeah, very good. And your team speak very kind of highly of you as a kind of a good leader and very much a good role model for other kind of people leaders in the company as well. And I think that's also particularly hard, I guess, because you're not in the same office day after day where it can just be quite, organic almost, isn't it? And so we would love to, just kind of hear more about, how you think about culture, development, kind of, people enjoying the time as well as kind of, being the best they can be.
Yeah, and like in terms of that sense, I think it's listening to what people want. So like those surveys where we ask the team what they want to see. It's like we have team stand-ups every morning, but the teams take it in rotations to like talk about the stats the day before. We have Paul who does his dad jokes, and Nana comes with quiz questions, and BCI love quiz questions as well. So it's them having that grasp, and then like our team meeting that they have on a Friday afternoon, it's the team that host it and like play games together. And when we've onboarded this time as well, we've launched buddies. So everyone in the South Africa team that's just joined us, they have a buddy in the UK, so they meet themselves and get integrated into the culture that way as well. So I think it really is that feedback loop of what do you guys want from us, and it just helps us that trust from the get-go of like they know they're going to be listened to and that we value what they want to say.
Great. And I guess being frontline, if there are issues anywhere else in the organisation, at some point it's going to hit, and you and your teams feel it. And we've
Usually
obviously
the first ones to shout about it, yeah.
We've obviously been on a journey in terms of challenges and things getting better and so on. But we would just love to hear about in terms of how it has felt, kind of where you think we are today, what's still to go in terms of I guess just our maturity as an organisation, the experience for customers, just how that's developed in the time you've been here.
Yeah, well, I think the start off is it really has developed. We've got so much better at reporting in terms of understanding exactly what customers are contacting us about and being able to show that in figures so we can translate it in ways that understandable to the rest of the business. But it's building those relationships as well. So not only me building relationships with the development team, with product, with our other teams, but the agents themselves having that as well, and vice versa. So like it's night and day if we think back 2 years to now of how teams, when they're rolling out projects, think about what the impact it is to operations now. Whereas that might have been like something that we thought about afterwards in the past. Whereas now, how it impacts customers and how it impacts operations is at the forefront of people's minds when we roll things out. And I think that's completely changed, and everyone is now quite into the pattern of understanding what customers want from us, what they might contact us about. And I think that's the big change of, especially within operations and the product and development team, is we know each other and support each other so intuitively now. I think that especially over the last year has been the biggest shift for me.
Yeah, super. And so we're going to move on to the next part of the show where we play Connect 4. And the questions get a little bit more spicy, so I put you off your game.
Okay.
And it is my winning formula. But you do have a red button where you cannot answer a question if you want. And so you mentioned in passing River before, and actually you can start today as well. And so you're turning 30, you're turning 30 or have turned 30 recently?
30 is November.
November, okay. And so a big life change and or kind of step. And then River, who also works at Salary Finance, is your partner.
Yes, now fiance.
Now fiance. Congratulations. And when are you getting married?
To be confirmed.
To be confirmed, okay.
Too much planning.
You met, so it sounded like you met before Salary Finance, or you met at Salary Finance?
Oh no, so we both worked together at BT.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. And how has it been? So we had kind of other Steph and here before we were talking about the Posh and Becks of Salary Finance. And so what's it like for you, being in a relationship with someone that works at Salary Finance?
I think it's good. So like obviously we're in separate teams, so you get a balance there. But it's nice to be able to, like, if you do need to talk about something like the culture's already there, everyone knows about it. But yeah, I think as long as you get that balance of we have home time and you have work time, as long as that balance is there, I think it works well.
Yeah, very good, very good. I'm having to concentrate today as well after I lost the last one. And then this week, you did that quite quick. I was like, what am I missing? And so this week you have the customer services team in with you?
Yep,
Yeah,
the UK team's
and
in.
what's your cadences usually? How often do you kind of get together with the team?
So me and the TLs and the managers try to come in like once a month, and then the rest of the UK team, we tend to come in like once a quarter. Try and match it with the stand-ups so the team can come to those.
Yeah. No, I've already won.
There we go.
I got it the first.
Oh, did you? Oh. Damn, I thought I got it there.
Almost. And then as part of turning 30, any other plans or kind of things in life that you think about?
No, I think it's just the trying to decide when marriage will come, if we want to move, all of those.
Yeah.
Big choices.
Was River always? I guess at BT, so he lived near Darlington as well. Yeah. Great. Awesome. Well, Steph, thank you very much for joining and being an awesome SFer. I think we have one final question, which is, if there was a karaoke night, what your favourite song would be?
Okay.
And if you want, you can also sing it, but that is not.
Yeah, I mean the Sigma team have already seen and heard.
Very good.
And we've got a social tonight, so the rest of CS might hear, but I think I'll leave it ominous if people know already.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll have to do some research. Well, thank you for being an awesome SFer, and thank you for joining today. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for joining, and keep fighting the good fight.